Hey, what's happening, boys and girls? This is your captain speaking. And if you notice, iba na naman ang pwesto ko sa bahay. A lot of things have been going on over the past few months. This is another interview in line with DexCon's Fast Break. And there's something surprising about getting to know personalities such as this person. Nung nakilala ko siya, parang sabi ko, siya yung nag-stand out. Nag-stand out siya kasi the way she does her stuff, paano niya nila-liven up yung crowd is just an art in itself. Kasi hindi madaling trabaho ang pumasok sa mundo ng professional wrestling. You have to be in character, pero you have to also be someone na, tama ba kung sasabihin kong, to answer the question of what makes you different from the rest of them. Kaya when I got this interview, I'm not gonna lie, I was nervous kasi nung una ko siya nakita, parang sabi ko, uy, I want to know this person. Ayoko rin ma-disappoint tong guest na to kasi she's one of the people out there that deserves this kind of attention. This is, again, a show where we celebrate the heroes of Pinoy wrestling. But tonight's guest is someone who embodies resilience, creativity, and the spirit of a true superhero. She's not only a wrestler, but also a musician, a storyteller, and an inspiration to fans across the Philippines. Ladies and gentlemen, Pinoy Wrestling's DIY superhero, Super P.
Hi! Wow, my balloons! Hi, Captain Mike! Hello!
Hi, how are you? I've seen your videos lately, and alam mo yon, the videos simply says you're ready to face 2026. How are you so far?
Um, I'm good. 2025 was really rough for me because of my injury and everything that happened last year. But I came into 2026 with a new fire inside. And I'm ready to take on anything that, Pinoy wrestling throws in my way or life throws in my way. Because that's what superheroes do.
I agree. When I saw yung how 2025 was, it was so magulo. Parang I've seen a lot of people saying na please let 2025 and I myself had that my share of that na parang sabi ko please let it end. Ngayon 2026, so you myself and most of us are now facing this year with a optimistic approach, 'di ba? Sige, hindi ko na patatagalin to kasi when I got this interview, sabi ko talaga, I have to come up with questions and all that. Pero the questions are pag tinatad lang kita ng tanong, baka bukas na tayo matapos. So I have to really take those questions before the Super P thing. And
Mm.
guys, I just wanna say this for the record, you may wanna consider checking Super P's old videos para makilala nyo rin siya doon. It's an eye-opener for me. I'm sure it's gonna be an
Upload
eye-opener for you guys. Sige, let's start off with how you started. You had no sports background. Nashock ako dito when I heard this interview. Para sabi ko, is it
Nashock
really
ako
true na
talaga.
there's some... Oh, kasi coming in your experience, kasi you had no sports background. As you worked your way through, you showed resilience in pursuing this dream. Between how you became Super P and how you started, paano mo na-overcome yung ganong challenge?
So yeah, wala akong sports background. I did not play sports when I was growing up. Not really because of, some kids kasi pinagbabawalan ng parents na masyadong Hindi, I mean, there are some kids who experience that and don't get into sports so you don't get hurt. My mom was not like
Agree.
that, but at the same time, I was more of an introverted kid who just
Mm.
wanted to stay inside and read and write and watch TV instead of playing outside. And when it came to school, I really didn't participate in sports fests, mga ganyan, or mga
Ay,
intramurals. Gumagawa ako ng excuse. para hindi ako makasali. So that's the kind of kid that I am. And I will tell you that that is not ideal. That is not ideal for who wants to join pro wrestling because it is a very, very serious physical sport. That's something that non-believers of pro wrestling would use as kumbaga, a criticism against pro wrestling that it's not real, things like that. But it is very much real in that it takes a lot of physical effort, it takes a lot of physical training, it takes a lot of hard work. It is a sport, and having no sports background is not ideal for getting into a sport that takes you to the limits of your body, of your mind. And at the same time, for me, I was coming in at in my mid 20s na. So
Mm.
that was pretty challenging. Um but what I would say is the thing that helped me overcome that challenge is just a love for pro wrestling. Kasi I was not even 10 years old, I think, when I started being a fan of pro wrestling. I was a ruthless aggression era baby. So I would watch John Cena and I would watch Randy Orton, and write fanfic about Randy Orton. I would idolize Lita at the time. So I was really a big, big, big pro wrestling fan as a child, and it continued on until adulthood, even until lumago na ang local pro wrestling scene, yung Pinoy wrestling natin, and it started with PWR. And yes, the early matches of the likes of Jake De Leon, Main Max, napanood ko lahat yan. Napanood ko yung debut ni Crystal, and I was such a big fan, and I just love wrestling, every part of it. And I feel like as long as you love wrestling, you can overcome a lot. Kasi it's so easy to, you're fit for it, you get into it. But then if you don't love it as much, it's gonna be something that is easy to let go of. Because let's be real, at this moment, wala masyadong benefits, kumbaga, ang pagsali sa
That's
pro
right.
wrestling, right? You don't get money out of it. It's not mainstream yet, at least the local scene. It's not mainstream yet, but the thing you get out of it is you get to do the thing that you love. And if that's enough for you, that's enough for you to be able to overcome whatever challenge is thrown your way as you go through your pro wrestling journey. Diba, when you love something, or if you love someone, they give meaning to your life, or even just a small part of it. Wrestling gives meaning to my life, and that's pretty much why I'm in this journey, and even after two major injuries, I'm still in this journey.
Two major injuries. Alam mo, when I found out those injuries, parang sabi ko, we need to talk about those. Pero in the later part na ng kasi it also deserves a spotlight. Akala nila wrestling is something na it entertains. Akala nila madali. Hindi nila napapansin yung hirap, yung pagod, yung oras na binibigay mo dyan. It's just like any other sport, pero this is more physical. Tapos, yung balik sa'yo, and you're right, no? Yung balik sa'yo nun is not much as of now. Kaya, may mga bata rin before na yung, alam mo yung parang, hindi nabibigyan ng opportunity ng magano ng sports. Isa ako doon sa mga yon. My late mom had a hard time worrying about me kasi parang pinupurso ko tumagal sa sports, pero alam mo yon, minsan ayaw niya. Now, seeing you from where you are before, it really tells a lot na parang itong lahat ng pagod mo, itong hirap na to, you just don't want to let it go to waste.
Yeah.
Doon sa mga nabanggit mong influences mo,
Yeah.
local or international, sino yung mga yon that push you to the stage where na-build yung persona mo as Super P?
Mm. Okay. In terms of local influences, Jake De Leon taught me everything I know. Like, he was my coach from the very beginning, from my first training day in 2018, where I could barely do anything. He taught me from zero, and he taught me a lot. Until now, he's still my mentor. So Jake De Leon is a really big influence for me, and he's amazing. He's like the best wrestler in the Philippines. So, diba, could you ask for a better mentor than Jake De Leon? Another
Correct.
influence is Crystal, because as I mentioned earlier, I was there in her debut match, and her debut actually showed me and hopefully other female fans or female members of the audience at that time na kaya din natin to eh. Like, we have the ability to keep up with the boys in this scene. Crystal is also a big influence. She also taught me during my early years of training. And then I guess last sa local is Fabio Makisig, because after the break that we had in terms of the local wrestling scene, after the break that we had during the pandemic, Fabio Makisig was the first person to really give me a chance. Na parang he believed that may ibubuga ako and may ibubuga pa ako. He would always push me to do more sa training because he believes na kaya ko siya. Kaya ko siyang gawin. Hindi lang ako naniniwala sa sarili ko, pero kaya ko siyang gawin. And he really gave me a chance when no one did. Those three, JDL, Crystal, Fabio Makisig, they're my local superheroes. If you ask me kung sino yung mga international influence ko, yung mga nag-influence ng style, ganyan, I would say I watch a lot of British wrestling, World of Sport in particular. I watch a lot of Joshi Wrestling, Choco Pro. Nung nagsa-start pa lang ako mag-training, I would watch a lot of Emi Sakura's videos, especially yung mga training videos. Yeah, I would watch
Right.
that. When she came here nung 2019, for her match against Crystal, she actually held a small training seminar for us girls noon sa PWR, and I learned a lot from that. Ano pa ba? Yung mga idol ko kasi nung bata ako, like John Cena, Randy Orton, Lita. I mean, I love them. I love them as my childhood heroes, but at the same time, wala masyadong influence sa style and whatnot, because I'm a different person. I'm a different shape. I'm a different size. I'm a different persona, as you would call it. In
Mm.
terms of this is influenced by my love for comic books. I'm a big Marvel fan. DC din. Pero I'm a big Marvel fan, and I absolutely love Miss Marvel. So, si Kamala Khan.
Okay.
I love her kasi I felt like she was like me in a way. She also wrote fanfic about her favorite superheroes, particularly Captain Marvel. I wrote fanfic about my favorite superheroes, meaning favorite wrestlers. And yung personality niya kasi, she believes that she is a hero too. And I want that for myself. I want to believe that I can be a hero for myself, that I can be a superhero for little girls, for example. Kasi ako, wala namang local wrestling dito nun. So, who is my Pinay wrestling superhero? Wala, di ba? So, I
There you
wanna be
go.
that. I wanna be that for little girls in the audience. And there are surprisingly a number of little girls in the audience pag nanonood. Napapansin mo yun? The ones
Oo,
na
parang nakikita ko na sila ngayon. Parang when I started watching you guys back in 2024, parang kukunti pa, as in, mga
Oo.
bunch of adults pa lang yun nandun. Nung sunod-sunod na sila, nakikita
Yeah.
ko na may mga bata na, ba't may bata dito? Parang, alam mo yun, hindi ka sure at first, pero pag nakikita ko na sila lumalapit sa'yo, doon ko na nakikita na parang, these kids they like superheroes so much, na talagang
They're my friends.
makikita nila, lalapit talaga sila to the first person whom they feel is a superhero for them. Nabanggit mo rin lang naman yung mga kids. And I know it has a big impact to every one of us na nagpa-participate sa ring. If you were able to speak to your younger self, the one who dreamed of doing wrestling, how powerful does it feel now na parang nakita mo ngayon tong si Little Super P, nakita mo siya ngayon dyan, anong pwede mong sabihin sa kanya? Parang, how will you feel now?
Did you know, I think it was when I was 11 or 12,
Mhm.
people would ask me what you want to be when you grow up, and I would say I'm going
Aha.
to be a wrestler. Magta-training ako kung saan nag-training si The Rock. Ano, magiging wrestler ako. And nobody took me seriously. Nobody. Syempre yung nanay ko parang, sige. But deep inside, she's like, doesn't believe me. And I don't blame anyone for not taking me seriously because at the time, it really seemed impossible. There is no local wrestling at the time. And parang, it just feels like a very slim chance for me to be able to get there to the WWE and be a wrestler, di ba? It seemed impossible. So, if I were to speak to my younger self, I would tell my younger self that I believe in you. I would be that one person who would say, yes, naniniwala ako kapag sinabi mo, gusto ko maging wrestler at magta-training ako kung saan nag-training si The Rock. Sure, I believe in you. That's what I would say to my younger self because I needed that at the time.
Kasi most kids kasi, even up to now, yung mga bata, pag sinabi nila na gusto nilang maging ganito, kung ano man yon, if it's outside of the academe, pag
The
mga
normal.
pag hindi ka doktor, pag hindi ka abogado, alam mo yung, pag iba ang pinili mo, your parents were trying to protect you and say, huwag mo na yan, dapat ito na lang gawin mo, di ba? Or parang sasabihin nila, sige, okay lang, tuloy mo lang yan. Thinking na, alam mo nga, na parang thinking na lilipas din yon, parang it was just a phase. And I think you're not alone in saying it. When you, siguro ko ako rin, if I talk to my younger self, or if someone watching this video would speak to their younger selves, they would actually say the same thing. I think I'm better off now. Parang yun yung parang yung simple line to say it.
Yeah.
And dahil doon, I guess that's how became the Super P that everyone loves.
Yeah.
That angle now of the DIY superhero will now be fishbone in this next series of questions. How does your superhero persona, DIY superhero persona, being relentless in your creativity to make Super P stand out in Pinoy wrestling? Kasi pag tinignan mo sila, pag pinagsama-sama mo sila, they have things in common Makikita mo kagad Ikaw yung, pag nakita mo na from afar pa lang, alam mo, nasa kanto pa lang, alam mo, ito Super P kagad to, ganun.
So, alien.
You can call it that. Pero syempre, that's part of your creativity then on being the first DIY superhero.
Mhm.
How does being relentless in your creativity stand out in Pinoy wrestling?
So, the DIY thing, DIY for me means doing things your own way. It's about not waiting for someone else to do things for you, someone else to tell you what you're supposed to do or choose which path you need to take. It's about just trying to be yourself and do things your own way. That's what DIY means to me. And I'm heavily influenced by the DIY punk scene because I listen to a lot of punk growing up, and I'm always fascinated by the DIY culture, and I guess that's the aspect of my personality that I carried over to things like music, to things like pro wrestling. Because in music, I don't have a label, I don't have a proper studio. I just do things on my own. I write, I record, and I produce on my own. I promote it on my own. Because that's what I want to do. I just want to do things my own way. It's the same way with making my comics, making my zine. I want to print it myself. I draw it myself. I write it myself. I print it myself because I just want to do things my own way. And it's the same way with wrestling. Kumbaga, I want to do things my own way. When people ask me, ano bang style mo? Are you British? Are you Joshi? Are you Lucha? I can't describe my style other than it being my style. It's me. I always just try to be me. 'Di ba? I always say this. I'm not the fastest, I'm not the strongest, I'm not the biggest. Di ako yung pinaka-experienced, di ako yung pinakasikat, I guess. But I am me, and I'm actually really proud of that. I'm proud of how I represent myself in wrestling na wala akong katulad. Yun lang. I always try to make sure na ganun, wala akong katulad in how I look, how I act, basically how I carry myself. But it's not something na contrived na parang, no, I just want to do things differently. No, I just try to be me, and I know that there is nobody else like me. So yeah, that's pretty much where the DIY thing comes from.
Mm. And it's not easy kasi if you think about it, alam mo yun,
Yeah.
there are some people na who would say, oh, I would take this aura, this persona, this move, this outfit, di ba? And then, alam mo yun, they build it. May iba talaga na talagang gumagawa talaga from scratch.
Yeah.
Parang, this is a blank canvas, this is, ganun yung pagkakaintindi ko sa how you built your persona kasi nung una parang kung tingkad ng kulay na ito, parang ano ba tong anong klaseng
Candy.
superhero to? Well, sige, if you put it that way, sige, we'll parang namang parang makintab na candy nung pumasok na ganun, parang alam mo kagad kikinong talaga eh. Alam mo yun. Kasi it's not easy being like that.
Mm-hmm.
Alam mo yun, talagang nakita ko doon sa isang video mo yung you were preparing your mask, you're preparing your outfit and all that. So para sabi ko, iba-iba ang pagkaka-build nito, di ba? Unlike yung iba na para papasok na lang, oh, I'm like this, oh, para kang si name, insert name of whoever restaurant this, di ba? Other than that colorful persona of yours and your colorful outfit, I should not set aside the fact that you also do music. So,
Yeah.
nung sinabi mo yan, I remembered I was playing one of your tracks while I was driving kasi parang sabi ko, teka, sabi ko ganun. If Super P does music, sabi ko, I wonder how she sounds like, diba? So, and the best way of making sure the music would sound nice if you get to listen it to a car. So, I did. Ang
Thank you.
pag pinapakinggan mo siya, hindi siya yung, I know, sabi mo nga you had your inspiration from the DIY punk. Pero pleasing siya sa tenga. Alam mo na it's still punk-esque.
Mm-hmm.
Ang sarap niyang pakinggan na parang pagbaba mo na sa sasakyan after listening to the music, parang maglalaro pa rin siya sa ulo mo kasi maganda yung lyrics, maganda yung tunog. That being said, your music is also a part of your identity.
Mm-hmm.
How does the optimistic energy of that side of yours contributed to your presence in the ring?
Well, the thing I'd say about music is it has always been my constant. Kumbaga, I was a musician way before I was a wrestler because I've been playing in bands since I was 13. So, talaga it is a part of my life. Now,
check her YouTube page.
check my YouTube page. Watch my music videos, listen to my songs. But anyway, yeah, I guess I'm one of those few wrestlers na I come out to my own song. Like something that I made and I come out to my own song when I head to the ring. I recognize that's a pretty rare thing. And it's a conscious choice. Kasi I really want to be me. I want every single aspect of Super P to be 100% me. And the reason why I chose the theme that I'm currently using, yung Attack. So my entrance theme is called Attack, is because it's a song that describes what a panic attack feels like. It's something that I experience a lot. It's a song that describes what a panic attack feels like, and in that song, it's described as an alien invasion. The reason why I chose that as my entrance theme, not just because of its melodic energy, but also because of what it means to me. When you are wrestling, when you're in the ring, sometimes it feels like you're going to die. Okay? Like, that's how a panic attack feels like. Sometimes it just feels like you're going to die. Diba? In the ring, it's the same thing. May ganung peril that may overcome you. I don't know if you've encountered this term in your training, pero SJM would call it the deep waters. If the deep waters, yung talagang parang feeling mo hindi mo na kaya, feeling mo nalulunod ka na. Sometimes that's how a panic attack feels like. Sometimes that's how a wrestling match would feel like, especially kung mahirap talaga yung kalaban mo. And I used Attack as my entrance theme to remind myself that if I can overcome something like a panic attack that feels like an alien invasion, I can overcome this match. And I blasted out to the crowd just to share with everyone this kind of energy na parang you guys, you can overcome that too. Whatever you're going through, whatever deep waters you're going through, you can overcome that. My favorite line in my own song is, you can hurt me but you can't take me alive. And that's how I want to feel. That's how I want everyone to feel whenever I'm wrestling in the ring.
Ang ganda ng pagkaka-correlate mo sa panic attack being as an alien invasion. Parang feeling ko tuloy dinala na ako sa Mars when I have those episodes siguro sa case ko, di ba? Kasi panic attacks, hindi yan manggagaling sa'yo ng natural eh. It comes from outside sources eh.
Yeah.
Tama yung sinabi mo. For lack of a better term, it's an attack. It's an attack on who you are or what you are as a person. And sometimes those attacks can take you to another planet.
Yeah.
Kasi nga, din ang ano doon. Nabanggit mo yung panic attacks na yan.
Mm-hmm.
I've met you for so long na already na back in 2024 na I've known you as an advocate for mental health. I've seen it in your interviews. Talagang may mga instances na syempre things are getting so overwhelming, talagang kakainin ka talaga niya ng buhay. Just like an alien invasion.
Yeah.
How do you balance that? Kasi alam mo in your head na, alam mo yun, there's still work to be done. You still have a world to save. You still have responsibilities to do. And then this alien invasion comes in. How do you defeat that?
With great difficulty. No, it's
Are you saying it as a Souls-like thing? No?
no, okay, the mental health thing kasi the reason why I'm so vocal about mental health, my mental health struggles, and why I'm such an advocate is because it's so hard. Like for me growing up and feeling these things na wala akong mapagsabihan, I felt so alone, and I was looking for someone who understands me, someone I can look up to, someone I can talk to. And alam mo yun, it was so difficult back then. Now that I have some sort of platform, it's not a big platform, but it is some platform, medyo may konting elevation tayo, I want to be that for other people so that they don't have to feel so alone. They don't have to feel as alone as I felt. Parang I know it's weird to talk about it in the context of wrestling, especially locally. Ano man yung mga stereotypes that wrestlers have to be tough, have to be baga they can't be so vocal about their emotions. You can't show your vulnerability, ganyan, kailangan matapang ka. But the reality is everyone is going through something. Even the strongest wrestlers, even the strongest fighters, they are going through something in their head and they cannot be alone. We have to support each other. So kumbaga, I just want to be a source of support in the same way that I would say everyone else is a source of support for me. So if you ask me, how do I balance, the pressures of wrestling, performing, stuff like that, it's really with the help of everybody who serves as my support system. I have a support system within the wrestling industry. I have my coaches, I have my friends, I have people who are close to me. But at the same time, ito yung na-realize ko when I had my injury last year. The Pusoverse, the fans, they are also my support system. Because they never gave up on me. When I did my fundraiser thing for my surgery, they came to help me, 'di ba? Parang kumbaga they saved me. When I was experiencing self-doubt, when I was really really depressed during my injury, parang it was not just the people who were close to me but also the fans who were there to remind me who I am. And that's how that's how I'm able to continue on. That's how I'm able to kumbaga keep things in check. Parang there are people to remind me, there are people to support me.
Believe ako when you were mentioning that advocacy of yours, hindi to yung tama I mean wrestler ako, tough ako kaya wala akong makaano ng ganun. Hindi. Lahat tayo dadaan sa ganun. It just so happened na lately, ang mental health struggles are nagiging vocal na, nakikita na ngayon, di ba?
That's great.
And that's the reason, sabi mo nga, why you have to be, there's a reason why you have to be vocal about it, and with the right set of friends, right set of people, right mindset as well, talagang ma-overcome mo yun kasi siningit ko yung panic attack na yun and the alien invasion thing about the mental health kasi it's obviously an alien invasion to yourself. Naturally, pag ikaw yung nasano ka lang na tao, lahat naman tayo are born nice. It's just the external forces talaga, it's quote-unquote aliens, are the ones that trying to inflict harm. And nobody deserves that.
Yeah.
It keeps you, and that's what I appreciate then about you. You talking about these things not only acknowledges na you have your weak points then, just like how Kryptonite is to Superman, but also keeps you in the grounded state. Pero syempre, may mga difficulties yan will now lead to my next set of questions. I have to really think about these questions kasi all of it, unfortunately, happened in 2025.
That year!
Kasi that year, I'm saying, like, alam mo yun, I am so pissed at 2025. I wanna throw my slippers, alam mo yun, I wanna throw my pillows at it kasi
DDT natin 2025.
oo, parang wanna flip whatever fingers you have on your hands and your toes. Kasi 2025 is tough on you.
Yeah.
Particularly with your injury. Pero before that, you had your intense matches. From the day you first started, which match do you think tested your resilience? And how were you able to push through? Kasi ang dami nun eh. May mga fun matches, I've seen those. Pero may mga struggling matches ka rin. Pero which one of those really stood out?
I can think of 3. I think the first one that comes to mind is the Best Bros match, which on the surface looks like a really fun match, diba? But I would say that it tested my resilience in a way that, kumbaga, leading up to that, like the months leading up to that, because I knew beforehand that we were like Super Friends were going to face the Best Bros at WrestleStorm 2. We knew beforehand. And my resilience was tested in a way that I had to prepare for it. And I put so much pressure on myself then kasi, as I said earlier, I'm a big fan of Choco Pro. So I was watching Mace Huruga's very early years in Choco Pro when I was just starting to train pro wrestling. So I am a fan. I'm a fan of their work. And the road leading to that match was pretty tough. Na parang, kaya ko ba to? Jumbo hotdog, kaya ko ba to? They're basically my highest profile opponents ever at the time. So parang, kaya ko ba to? So, umabot sa point na, yun nga, I would go to the gym every day and then I would do both Saturday and Sunday trainings. Sometimes I would do weekday trainings. Talagang pinipiga ko yung sarili ko just so me and my tag team partner and I could be ready for that match. And I would say that was the best match I've ever had. I hope to make more great matches, but as of now, that's probably the match that I love the most. Another match that comes to mind when you talk about resilience is my match with Aaron Liwanag, because that's poor beast. He used to be my friend, pero wala eh. He chose the dark side. And in that semifinals match for the Pusong Pinoy Wrestling Championship, we finally went one-on-one after na lahat ng ginawa niya sa akin over the years, kinidnap niya ako. He sprayed mist on me, poison mist. kidnap uli, terrorizing me and my friends. Pero finally, nakaharap ko na siya one-on-one, my former friend, Aaron Liwanag. And the thing about former friends is they know your weaknesses, right?
Right.
They know
I
your
agree.
weaknesses. They know what pushes your buttons. They know how to defeat you. But I know that as well, 'di ba? The thing is, the size difference kasi makes it hard for me to kumbaga strategize how I can defeat him, and that really tested me a lot. I was almost there. I was almost there. I put him in the Justice League, pero yun nga, he knows my weaknesses, so he was able to escape, and he was able to get the win in a way that really hurt my knee. Pero yun nga, yeah, that was a match that really tested my resilience kasi bugbog talaga ako. Bugbog ako nun.
Mhm.
And I guess the third match that comes to mind is the Puwersang Pinay Gauntlet. Kasi 'di ba
Oh God.
with gauntlet matches, tuloy-tuloy ka lang. If you win the first match, you move on to the second match. Then the third match, pag nanalo ka ulit. So, 'di ba, parang, at the time, ilan ba kami nun? I think we were eight. I think we were eight women. I lasted 3 rounds. So, yung first round ko, I was with Chelsea. I pinned Chelsea. And then the next one was with Andy Faye, who debuted at the
Oh,
time. Syempre, nayanig ako kasi di ko naman alam i-expect ko. Malay ko bang sisigaw yan, di ba? Malay ko bang kakanta yan, di ba? So, that was something way na hindi ko alam kung ano i-expect ko. And then the third, Diyos ko po, naka 2 rounds na ako. Tapos yung third round ko, Queen of Philippine Wrestling. So that was the round na natalo ako. But I'm proud that I was able to last 3 rounds. Pagod na ako. So yeah, those are the matches that come to mind when you talk about, testing my resilience.
alam mo, when you mention these people, I just wanna do a quick side note lang. Kasi I was not there during WrestleStorm 2, pero nakita ko naman kayo parang Balkanaki and May Suruga, really, alam mo yon, talagang hindi sila pumunta doon just to fight. Eh. They really made sure that in the words of the crowd, sulit bayan.
Sulit
Ah.
bayad talaga.
It was action-packed and yet cute. Kasi, alam mo yon, with you and May fighting in the middle of the ring. And then, ito nga, fighting with Crystal, Queen of Philippine Wrestling, talagang Andy Faye na kahit kami sa audience, nayanig din kami nun. So, we cannot blame you. Siyempre, with Aaron Liwanag, I'm not sure kasi, alam mo yun, fighting with Aaron Liwanag is like fighting a big wall. Eh. Parang alam mo yun. At yung wall na pumapalag, alam mo yun.
Oo.
Kaya,
Yung wall na sinasakal ka at binabagsak ka sa mat. That's the
at
kind
saka
of wall.
I don't know with Aaron and little guys. He really has been beating little guys talaga and making them bowling pins for whatever reason. And lastly, itong si Chelsea na parang hindi rin to hindi rin to nagpatibag. Talagang lumaban talaga to sa'yo.
3 rounds din si Chelsea in the gauntlet, by the way.
Ayun.
Yeah.
Kasi yun yung parang hindi lang naman yan yung laban mo kay Chelsea Marie. You had several.
Yeah.
And kaya ako hinuli si Chelsea kasi there was that fight between you and Chelsea Marie na you tore your ACL, meniscus, and MCL. When I heard you scream in pain, alam mo yon, hindi siya yung pain na coming in from like pagka sinuntok ka, sinampal ko, binalibag ka. That's a pain talaga coming in from your insides.
Yeah.
Tapos, yun nga, when you announced na yun nga yung injury mo, na-shock ako no kasi I've known friends and loved one na na-tore din yung ACL nila and MCL. So, that is talagang yung pinakamalaking tinik sa buhay mo. How do you stay optimistic through all of that?
Okay. I wasn't optimistic. No, it was very difficult to be optimistic. Lalo na it was the second time around. The first time around, I PWR pa na-injure na yung right knee ko when I was training, and then hindi na parang medyo lumala na lang siya when I started training back then, um,
Mm.
at MWF. And then that's when I decided, sige, I'll have my knee operated on. So that was the first time. And then after that, after my recovery, then that's when I had my debut as a wrestler.
Okay.
So when the second injury came, left knee naman, kabila naman. So what happened was during the Women's Month live stream ng Puso, it was a match between me and Joya versus Chelsea and Crystal. And there was a moment in the match where Chelsea had me up on her shoulders, but I really fought back. I tried to wiggle my way out. I tried to jump down, and when I jumped down, that's when the injury happened. And yeah, I screamed pretty hard. I heard it.
I can still hear. I can
Oh
still
my
hear it.
god.
Talagang
Yeah. And I knew right then and there. Yeah, I knew right then and there that something was wrong. Yeah, I really felt it. Masakit talaga siya eh. Pero in denial pa ako for 1 week. I'm like, maybe maybe I can just tape it. Kasi at the time, Dexcon Dakila was coming up, di ba? So I
right.
wanted to be part of Dexcon Dakila. So parang inisip ko, what if i-tape ko na lang ng mahigpit? Tapos lagyan ko ng brace. Pero wala. My doctor, shout out sa surgeon ko, si Dr. Mark Castro. Pinigilan niya talaga ako. Kasi, yeah, my ACL wasn't there anymore. It was completely torn. My meniscus was torn. My MCL, may konting tear. How did I stay optimistic? Well, it's because of the people who showed me support. When I found out that I had to do surgery, I said I can't afford this. So I ran a fundraiser, and I am so thankful to everybody who donated, who bought my shirt, showed support for me, because ang result, I did not spend a dime on my surgery. It was paid
Wow.
it was paid for by everyone who helped me. That's how much support I got. And that's the reason why I kept going. Like I said, it's hard to stay optimistic after a second injury, 'di ba? Kasi parang, bakit ko ba 'to ginagawa? 'Di ba? Wala na akong tuhod. Nasira na yung right, nasira pa yung left, 'di ba? Pero, like, should I stop? Am I really not meant for this? Ito ba yung sinasabi ng universe sa akin? I'm not meant to do this? But then, seeing the support that I got really pushed me to keep going. Na parang, okay, let's get over this surgery. Okay, let's get over rehab. Let's get over this mental recovery. That's what kept me going. Everybody who showed support to me. Yun.
Pag naalala ko yun, again, yung pain na yun, no amount of, parang hindi mo ma-describe. Talagang you were screaming talaga, probably on the top of your lungs, so mga time na yun, when the injury happened. Pero ngayon nabanggit mo nga na how the community supported you. Tells this interview na a lot of them believe in you. Hindi madali yun, ha?
Yeah.
I mean, magpa-fundraiser ka para makomplete yung operation mo. I cannot imagine tremendous support people are giving you. Dahil dyan, ito na tayo ngayon. Hindi alam natin na it happened as an accident.
Mm-hmm.
It became a huge setback. Sabi mo nga dun sa isang video mo, there were opportunities that was in front of you but did not happen because of the unexpected injury. And I just want to put this on record na I've seen your progress videos. Yung paano ka nag-exercise. I even asked you pa nga kung ano yung sapatos mo, na ano, kasi talagang getting it healed is one thing. Recovering from it is another.
Yes.
Diba? Is it safe to say na yung resilience na yun nanggaling through the inspiration of the people who supported you during your fundraiser and everything?
Yeah, kasi there are two hurdles to that injury. It's the mental hurdle and the physical hurdle. The mental hurdle, as I said kanina, it's really the people who helped me, the people who believed in me, who got me through that hurdle, got me over that hurdle. Kasi
Right.
I thought, if others believed in me that much, that I could do more for wrestling, that should just patch myself up and just continue. If others believe that I could do that, why shouldn't I believe in myself, right? I owe it to them.
Right.
The physical hurdle, ano yan? It was how many months? I think 7 8 months of continuous rehab. Shout out
Give or
rin
take, yeah.
sa PT ko, si Chester Aguilar of Philippine Orthopedic Institute. He really, really, really helped me get my confidence back. Kasi it wasn't just your usual rehab. What he did was, pinanood niya yung mga moves ko, yung mga matches ko, so that he could study what kind of exercises or what kind of drills he could do. Like, he could prepare for me so that I have more confidence when I get back into the ring. Kasi mahirap yung you come in cold again after a long time na parang you haven't
That's
been
right.
doing these movements for a very long time, tapos bigla mo siyang gagawin. It's scary. It's really daunting and maninibago talaga yung katawan mo. But what he did was he engineered or designed drills that would, kumbaga, for example, one of those drills simulated yung running the ropes. One of those drills simulated jumping from the second rope. Ganyan. So, he really built my confidence. Para pagdating sa training again, I would be a little bit more prepared and a little less scared.
Shout out sa mga sa mga therapist na yan kasi tama ka coming in cold is such a hard thing to do. It kills your confidence. Lalo na pag sanay ka talaga sa mga moves na nagagawa mo natin tapos out of nowhere because of the injury, you were not able to do it.
Yeah.
It not only kills you physically but it also kills you emotionally, mentally. Dahil parang na-niche self-esteem mo. So sa lahat ng mga nasa medical field na who help our players do be at their best, come back stronger, we salute you. We salute you. And I cannot stress that enough. Now, we are now on the road where we will be talking about this fight with Chelsea Marie. When I had this, when I was told that this will be your fight, parang I feel na this is now not against Chelsea but more on yourself na parang after that fight it paused tapos parang it went, now you're going back to the same match again pero it's just between you and Chelsea.
Yeah.
How powerful is this comeback would feel compared to the last time na naglabang kayo?
I think before I answer that, I just want to clear that it's an accident. Like, I don't blame Chelsea at all.
I agree.
I don't blame Chelsea at all for what happened. But I will say that me having a terrible year and seeing her have a great year, of course, some feelings will come up. Tao din naman
True.
ako. So I feel those feelings too. I had the worst year ever. I mean, after the Best Bros match, that is. She had an amazing year. 2025, she had an incredible no holds barred match with Joya. She and Joya competed for the Ice Ribbon Tag Championships with Bad Butts, and she also had a main event with Lacey Lane, and she competed in Thailand for
Oo.
against Monomoth for the championship, diba? So Chelsea had an amazing year. And that scares me because ito yung experience niya. This is all the experience that she gained in the time that I was away and suffering, di ba? So,
Oo.
it's really,
Napag-iwanan ka nun, yun yung feeling nun, di ba?
that's what I feel. It's really daunting. But you know what? Ang iniisip ko na lang is the other side of things. Me being away means perhaps Chelsea might have forgotten what it's like to be in the ring with me. Perhaps she's forgotten how tricky I am, how fast I am. Maybe nakalimutan niya. And I know that I'm like no other, right? So you can't replicate me. And I hope she's prepared for that because I've been studying her all year long. She is not able to study me, right? She doesn't know what I've been doing to prepare for this match, right? And oh, eto pa. I have one last thing to say in terms of, how I feel about this match with Chelsea. I'm pretty optimistic about it because I've been studying Chelsea's matches, and I noticed something very peculiar. And when she wins, she almost always needs the help of Mr. C. Mr. C.
Oh,
See? That's fine. It's okay. I used to rely on my friends a lot. I used to rely on the power of friendship a lot. So if she has that, I know that I have something that will help me win. I have something that she doesn't, and that's the Pusoverse. That's the community that rallied behind me when I was down. I have that to help me win.
ang hirap nung ano lang, 'di ba? Sa social media na lang parang ang hirap nung fear of missing out, 'di ba? Pero in the case kasi of every professional wrestler, pagka may pause na nangyari, such as your accident, such as your injury, ano yan, you were stuck in that particular, you were stuck in bed, you were recovering, and nakikita mo yung mga friends mo, yung mga opponents mo, growing, moving up. And I think that's gonna be an advantage for you kasi sabi mo nga, napag-aralan mo sila kasi wala, ano nga namang ba gagawin mo in bed kundi panoorin lang sila. With this being said, bukod sa mga yon, ano ang mga adjustments mo, strategies, leading to this fight?
Um, I guess it would be rational to say that to be a bit more careful with my legs, with my knees, ganyan. It would be rational to say that. But I'm kind of irrational. So I will still give my 100% Super P style offense to Chelsea so that because I know it worked once. Nangyari na siya nung Puwersang Pinay content. It worked once. I already pinned Chelsea and I know it will work again.
So is this more of a redemption, closure, or starting the next chapter in your journey as Super P in 2026?
I see it as my return to who I was. I am, like I said, I am the DIY superhero, and I'm going to return to that, right? So it's a return. It's a form of redemption, I guess, because I'm taking back, the time that I've lost. But it's also something that I see as the next adventure, right? And this next adventure starts at Dexcon Fast Break.
Yeah, and it's just gonna be days away na lang by the time this video has been released. And no, you have a lot of worlds to say. I'm not gonna take too much of your time. Please take this opportunity to invite everyone as you are starting 2026 with the bang, fighting Chelsea Marie in Dexcon's Fast Break.
Yeah. Everybody, if you don't have tickets yet, you are missing a great show in Dexcon Fast Break. This is going to be the day after Valentine's Day. So, after nyo mag-date ng mga jowa nyo, go on to Dexcon Fast Break. It's February 15th at Brawl Pit Bulusan. Headlining the show is the Brian Kendrick against the Dexcon World Champion, Pusong Pinoy Wrestling Champion, and Sen of Thailand 24/7 Champion, Jake De Leon. And you also see the Queen of Philippine Wrestling, Crystal, celebrating her 10th year in the business. Ganun na siya katagal. 10 years na siya in the business as she faces si Lady Lee, isa ring Pinay who has worked in WWE. So that's exciting. Pero ang papanoorin yung match, promise me that this is the match that you will watch. It is Super P against Chelsea Marie. And we are fighting for number one contendership. I hope that I have the Pusoverse behind me still. It's going to be a tough battle against someone who is as experienced as Chelsea, but you know what they say? I'm just gonna do me. I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna do it my way. I'm gonna do it myself. But I am not alone. I am with the Pusaverse. So please support. Please watch the. Please watch Dexcon Fast Break.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been an honor talaga talking to this person na amidst of all the challenges that happened in the past few weeks, months, and in a year, lumalaban pa rin si Super P. Ako, I have nothing but the utmost thanks for everyone who took the time talaga na, alam mo yon, yung makinig lang dito sa interview na to kasi this interview is more about these people who dedicated their time, their effort, their energy in making sure that everyone has a good time. And this coming February 15 at Dex One Fast Break, I'm sure everyone will have their good time. To wrap it up, I just want everyone to know that Super P's story reminds us that resilience, relentlessness, optimism, and power are not just words. These are essence of a true hero. From having no sports background to fulfilling her childhood dream, from torn ligaments left and right knee and probably fingers that went along with that, she proved that superheroes aren't just in comic books. They're real, they fight in the ring, and they're right here in this interview. And with that, thank you, Super P, for inspiring us all. And to our viewers, remember, resilience is the ultimate superpower. On behalf of Super P, this is your Captain Mike signing out. See you on the next DexCon Fast Break interview. In 3, 2, 1.